welcome to SKR Yoga and Wellness. My name is Sam, and today we're going to be doing a class totally dedicated to the lower back and hips. So if you're experiencing any soreness or any pain in these areas, this is a great class to do to try to relieve some of that tension. I decided to film this class today because I am feeling particularly sore in these areas, so I'm hoping this class will help me out just as much as it does you. So we'll get started. You're going to need 2 blocks for this practice. Again, if you don't have any blocks at home, you can always use some really thick books or even some dense cushions will work as well. So we're going to start right away with one of these blocks. And we're just going to lower onto our backs into a supported bridge pose. So first lower all the way down, soles of your feet are flat on the floor, and then lifting your hips up and just sliding that block right underneath your tailbone. And from here, you're going to extend your left leg out, keep your foot flexed, and then bend your right knee in towards your chest. And just lightly pull that knee in closer to you, and you should already feel a nice stretch into that left hip flexor. Just breathing into it, trying to find length. As I mentioned, I'm feeling very sore on my hips, so this stretch is really nice right now. And on your next exhale, we'll release that right foot back down onto the floor, and right away we're just going to switch. So extending your right foot out, again extending and flexing that foot before we bend the left knee in, and just lightly pulling it in towards your chest. Now breathing into the right hip flexor, allowing the lower back and the tailbone to melt into your block. And on your next exhale, releasing that left foot back down onto the mat and lifting the hips, just moving your block off to the side. And we're actually going to come all the way up, coming onto all fours right away. So swinging your legs behind you, palms are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We're rolling through some cycles of cat and cow, but we're going to add a slight variation. So just following me on the first round. On the inhale, you're going to arch your back, drop your belly, lifting your gaze. And then on an exhale, you're going to curve your spine, but you're going to send your hips back in space. So you're coming into a little bit of a child's pose. And then once again, lifting back onto your hands as we arch into cow pose. And then exhaling to send the hips back in space, finding a little bit of a child's pose. So as we do this, cycle through 3 more rounds at the pace of your own breathing. But keep your palms where they are, so as we send the hips back, the palms don't move. We're just moving the hips back in space as we curve, just intensifying that stretch of the spine ever so slightly. Last round, and exhaling. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine on all fours. You're just going to swing your right foot in between your palms here. And then again, we're going to need our blocks. So go ahead and grab those. You're going to flip them so they're at their highest level and bring them right underneath your shoulders here so they're a little bit closer to you. Making sure that your right knee is right on top of your right ankle, not leaning too far forward. Our core is engaged, belly button pulling in towards the spine. And I have a slight pull and a slight engagement with my inner thighs, so I'm not just letting everything spill out towards the mat. And on an inhale here, grow and get taller. And then on an exhale, we're going to send the hips back, just like we did in the cat and cow, but we're just stretching into that front leg, and you can flex your right foot. And then inhale again, coming on up to a low lunge. Exhale, straightening that front leg. And so your blocks are really here to support you. So if you need to kind of adjust where they need to be to best support you, please feel free to do that. We'll do one more cycle here, so inhaling into a low lunge, and exhale, curving over that front leg. And coming back to your low lunge, you can float your palms onto the mat, and we're just going to switch legs. So send your right knee back, swing your left leg forward, and once again, find your position on your blocks. Once more. Just taking a few breaths here to really stretch out that front hip flexor. Breathing into it. And on an inhale here, grow and get taller. And exhale, sending the hips back, straightening that front leg. Folding over your shin and flexing your front foot. Inhale, back to low lunge. Exhale, coming back into our half splits. Inhale, low lunge, and exhale, curling. Let's do one more here. Inhale, and exhale. And we'll come back to our low lunge. Move your blocks off to the side. And you're going to tuck your back toe, so your right toe, plant your palms on the floor. And we're going to lift that left foot, coming right away into our first downward dog of this class. So feel free to paddle your feet. Shake your head out, yes, no, to release your neck. Shrug your shoulders down away from your ears. Send your tailbone up towards the sky. And do any little movements you need here to fully settle into the posture. So from this downward dog, look forward between your palms and walk your feet up towards the top of the mat. And we're just gonna hang ragdoll fold over our feet. Make sure your feet are about hip width distance apart. And now from here, give a slight bend in your knees, and you're gonna walk your hands over to the left side. You may need a block for this, so maybe just have one handy if the floor doesn't feel quite as accessible. So your palms are on the floor, we're bending our knees. Now you're gonna take your right foot, flex it and extend it, and cross it over. So we're trying to target the outside of our thigh, our IT band here. So you should feel a nice stretch all the way down the outside of the right leg. For me, I feel this from my ankle all the way up into my right hip. So it's a really great stretch. And again, if you need a block to support you underneath your hands, please grab one. And we'll release, bring the foot back first with our knees bent, then walk your hands over to the right side, keeping the right knee bent, extending the left leg out with the flexed foot, crossing it over, and stretching out our left leg here. This side is way tighter for me. It feels like a totally new experience. And if you're feeling similarly about one of your legs, that's totally okay. Just breathing through it. And first releasing the foot back, and then walking the hands back to center. Let's give a nice generous bend in the knees here, and then very slowly rolling up through the spine. So vertebra by vertebra, rolling up. Head and shoulders is the very last thing to recover as we straighten our knees and stack our shoulders and head back on top. We're going to come into a bit of a side bend here. So bring your left hand onto your hip and inhale your right arm up overhead, and then exhale, bending towards the left side. You can stay here, or if you'd like to intensify the stretch a little bit, you're going to extend your right toes, or your left toes, sorry, out beside you here. Just really stretching out the side body. And on an inhale, recover. Bring that toe back underneath you. Arm floats down and we switch. So right hand on your hip, left hand down. On an inhale, reaching that left arm up. Exhale, leaning, bending towards the right side. And again, you can stay here if you'd like to intensify it. You extend your right toes out beside you. And kind of a parallel tendu for any of my dancers out there doing this class. And on your next inhale, reaching your left fingertips up and over, floating the right foot back down underneath you. So we're gonna take the right leg now, bend it in towards your chest, and just really pull that knee in. So releasing the hip. And then we're gonna kind of reverse the intention here. So right now we're pulling the knee in, and now I want you to push the knee in towards your hands, and your hands are stopping that foot from coming back down onto the mat. This will just release your lower back. It's a little bit of a balancing exercise too. You really want to feel your left foot growing into the floor, spreading nice and wide, giving you a nice base. A little bit of wobbling is okay here. And we'll float that right knee back down. Doing the same thing with the left. So now lifting the left knee up. First, pulling it into the chest, releasing the hip. And then again, reversing that intention, so pushing the knee into the hands to release the lower back. Feeling strong and stable into that right foot, supporting your balance. And as you release, send this left foot all the way behind you. And we're going to open up to face the long edge of our mat here. So we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So on an inhale, grow 3 inches taller, get long and tall in the spine. Exhale, bend at the waist to fold forward over those legs. You can relax your palms down onto the floor. And from here, option, you can stay here, or if you'd like to intensify the stretch, you can grab a hold of your big toes with your 2-piece fingers. Inhale, find a nice long spine and straighten your elbows. And then exhale, bend your elbows towards the sides, and you're pulling your flat back down farther in between your legs. And again, just breathing. And if you were gripping your toes, we'll release that hold. We're just going to stay folded over our legs here, but just turn your left toes to face the back of your mat, and your right foot's going to come in at a 45-degree angle as we walk our hands over to the left side here. So we're finding pyramid pose, folding over the left leg. If you need to have a slight bend in your front knee, please feel free to do so. We don't want to hyperextend into that knee. And again, option here, you can stay where we are, or bring your left hand onto your hip. And on an exhale, just opening up that shoulder towards the ceiling. And if you'd like to take it a step farther, you can extend that left arm up. Finding a little twist here. And exhaling back down to the mat. Staying folded, we're going to turn our toes back to the front and then all the way over to the right side. So I'm turning my right toes out, left toes come at a 45-degree angle, folding forward over that right shin. Feeling long and strong in your legs, supporting you here. And once again, we have the option of going into this twist. So placing your right hand on your hip. On an exhale, twisting up towards the sky. And maybe adding that arm to find the full extension. that left foot and bring it all the way up to meet the right. So we're back in this ragdoll fold. And from here, we're just gonna flow to downward dog. So on an inhale, lift up to halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step the feet back to plank. We'll inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, tucking the toes to find downward dog once again. Notice if there's any differences or changes from this down dog compared to the first one we did. And from this downward dog, reach your right leg up, keep it straight and square so the hips are facing down. And we're gonna swing that right leg forward, placing it in between the palms. And now from here, you're just gonna flip your back foot. So it's kind of matching the right. So I have two 90-degree angles here, and you can just rest your elbows down onto your knees here. So we're coming into a really low, really grounded position. You can rock back and forth. We're really just trying to open up the hips, stretching into those adductors. And from here, let's bring the hands onto the knees. And on an exhale, you're gonna reach your left shoulder forward, just finding a little twist. You can really push that right knee back. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, right shoulder forward. Making sure as we do this that our knees stay right on top of our ankles and are bending right in line with our toes. Inhale to come back to center. We're going to transfer over to the left side now. So I'm over right on top of my left foot, finding a lunge, and I'm going to come into an easy twist. So my right palm is on the floor, left hand reaches up. And then floating that left hand and my right knee down to the floor. I'm going to bring both palms to the inside of my left foot, lift the left toes, open them up towards, towards the long edge of your mat. And then you're going to walk your hands forward. Maybe your elbows come down onto the floor, or maybe you're still up on your palms. Wherever you're at, just breathe into your left hip. Very gently walk your palms back in. And we're just gonna plant the palms, tuck your back toe under, and we're gonna meet in plank position. Just holding here for a few breaths, so really pushing the mat away from us. Pull your navel in towards your spine. And on your next exhale, float the right foot forward. We're finding easy twist on the right side now, so you can bring your right hand up towards the sky. Left palm is flat on the mat. And floating that right hand and left knee down onto the mat. You can bring both hands to the inside of your right foot, lift your right toes and open them up, so we're in a turned out position here. And then again, you can stay up on your palms or walk your elbows down onto the floor. Really breathing into your right hip. Again, gently walking your palms back in. We're going to toe heel our right foot now over to the opposite side of the mat, lowering our right knee. kind of right behind our right wrist. So we're coming into pigeon pose on the right side now. First, sitting up nice and tall on an inhale, and then feel free to stay up here or walk your hands forward. If you find, as we do this, that your hips are coming off the floor slightly, you might want to place a block underneath your right hip. That'll make the pose a lot easier for you. So play around and see what kind of variation works best for you. I'm going to hang out here for about 5 more breaths. And on your next inhale, walking your palms in, lifting your chest up. And I haven't forgotten about the left side, so we're going to roll over our sit bones. Now finding pigeon pose on the left, facing the front of our mat once more. So again, lifting up nice and tall on an inhale, using that block if you need it. And on an exhale, walking the palms forward. And just melting into the stretch, really breathing, trying to find length and space. And gently lifting head and shoulders off the mat, palms coming back in. We're going to tuck the back toes here, lifting the hips. Just send that left leg back, and then we're coming right away onto our stomach in a prone position here. So we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So you're just going to make your way onto your forearms. The closer you bring your elbows to your body, the more intense the stretch will be. So just kind of play with it, gauge how far away you want to place your elbows. And then again, make sure that your shoulders are not sinking in towards your ears. You really want to push down into the mat to let the shoulders fall away. And just breathing into the stretch of the low back here. On your next exhale, release the arms and the forehead down onto the mat. We're going to roll over just like a pancake onto our back. Bending the knees in, squeezing them closer towards your chest. On an exhale, lift head and shoulders up off the floor, just making yourself into a nice little ball. And inhale to bring your head back down onto the mat. And we'll flex the feet, coming into happy baby. So your elbows are coming inside your legs, and then you're grabbing the outside of your feet with your hands, and then just softly and gently pulling the feet down in towards us. Try as best you can here to send the lower back in towards the mat. And you can rock back and forth just like a happy baby, massaging the lower back into the mat. And if you're sore like I am, this feels really great. And gently release the feet. We're going to come now into a reclined shoelace pose. So you're going to cross your right thigh over your left. Lift your knees in towards your chest and flex your feet. And now you're going to grab a hold of those ankles and very gently just pull them in towards you. So we're trying to get our knees close to our chest, as close as possible. And then we're gently pulling the ankles in opposite directions, closer to us as well. You'll feel an intense stretch in your hips, kind of similar to what you feel in pigeon pose, just in a different leg variation. And on an exhale, release your legs. We're gonna find that same pose on the other side. So this time, crossing your left thigh over your right. Exhale to lift your legs in towards your chest. Grab a hold of your ankles. And just gently, without forcing anything, pull them in towards you. And softly release the feet off down to the mat. We're going to come into Savasana, so allowing your legs to extend, taking up space, arms come out to the sides, palms facing up. We'll only be here for about a minute or so, but make it count. Really focus on the breath. Allow the body to fully give into gravity here, releasing any tension, letting it all melt away. And we'll be here for another 10 breaths. Slowly start to wake back up, gently wiggling your fingers and toes. Let your head fall from side to side. And when you're ready, roll onto the right side, coming into a seated position, whatever's most comfortable for you today. And let's just do one cleansing breath all together. So let's bring the hands in prayer position in front of our hearts. Big inhale through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. One more just like that, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. And namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for doing this hips and lower back practice with me. I don't know about you, but I am feeling much better after that class. The soreness is definitely alleviated slightly. If you really liked this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to SKR Yoga and Wellness. It really helps me in supporting putting free yoga up here on the internet for you, so I really would appreciate that. That's everything for today. Thank you guys so much for spending this class with me, and I hope to practice with you again soon. Take care, have a good rest of your day.